Long ago, in the mountain village of Amani, there lived a pole hunter called Kofi. Years earlier, death has taken his beloved wife, leaving him with only a daughter named Zuri. Poor Kofi is so kind and generous. He shared what he has with the needy.
Thank you, Kofi.
But many people laughed at him, saying kindness can never make a poor man rich. But behind Kofi's smile was a pain. Our precious daughter, Zuri, has fallen ill.
Father, did you eat today?
Don't worry, my sunshine.
As they passed,
Father,
Zuri's sickness grew
I'm
worse,
tired.
and every cough felt like a knife piercing her father's heart. Kofi spent everything he had seeking medicine, but nothing seems to help. In desperation, Kofi traveled to the palace to seek help from the king. But
Please,
to the
you
king,
must hear
a
me.
poor hunter was nothing. But unseen to Kofi, someone have been watching. Mama Zola, the oldest healer in Amani village, knew
There
of
is
a
still
cure
hope.
spoken of only in legends. She spoke of a sacred plant known as
Only
the
the
Moonleaf,
Moonleaf can save your
hidden
daughter.
beyond the forgotten forest where no man had dared to return. That night, Kofi caught only one rabbit. He cooked everything for his daughter and lied that he had already eaten.
Father, you should have eaten.
Kofi only smiled because seeing her smile alone satisfies his hunger. The next morning, Kofi went to
back
the
when you have
market,
something
hoping
valuable.
to sell some animal skin to buy medicine. For days, he searched for help and refusing to give up.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to save her.
That very night, Kofi made a promise that he would bring back the Moonleaf or never to return. Before the sun rose, Kofi left Amani village. He left Zuri with Madame Zola with the only hope in his heart. He began his journey. Day after day, he kept searching for Moonleaf. He crosses rivers. At night, he became lonely. He thought of quitting, but he remembered Zuri. Every night, he looked at the small pendant his daughter had made for him, and every night he promised himself he would not fail. But the mountain showed no mercy. Rain came, hunger came, and still Kofi refused to turn back. Without realizing it, Kofi had wandered farther than any hunter before him, into a place spoken of only in forgotten stories. After 7 days and nights, his strength was gone, his food had finished, and for the first time, Kofi feared he would never see his daughter again. As darkness consumed him, strange lights appeared in the forest, watching him, waiting for him as though they had known he was coming. When Kofi opened his eyes, the storm was gone, the hunger was gone, and the forest he knew had disappeared. Before him stood a land no map had ever shown, a kingdom hidden from the eyes of ordinary men. But what frightened Kofi the most was not the kingdom, it was the people. They looked at him as if they had known him for years. Even the children smiled when they saw him. And Kofi saw a woman that smiled
Welcome
at
home,
him.
Kofi.
Who are you people?
Who? Kofi had never seen this place before, yet everyone seems to know
The
his
great
name.
king has waited many years for this day.
Someone important has been waiting for him. But Kofi had no idea that his kindness has brought him into a kingdom that had been watching him for a very long time. Confused, Kofi walked into the heart of the kingdom, but what happened next was beyond his imagination. Seated on the ancient throne was a king unlikely any
meet
man
again, my
Kofi had
friend.
ever seen. Years earlier, during a terrible storm, Kofi had shared his last meal with a stranger, never asking for
A
anything
good
in
heart
return.
is remembered.
The stranger was
Even
the
by
ruler
heaven.
of this AD kingdom, and he has never forgotten. The kingdom had watched him for years. Every act of kindness, every sacrifice, every hungry day, he chose to help someone else.
Please,
But Kofi cared for little
save my
reward.
daughter.
He said,
First, you must prove that your heart remains unchanged.
Kofi thought the king would simply hand him the Moonleaf, but unknown to him, his true test
Uncle,
had already
we're
begun.
hungry.
On his first day, he saw children who had not eaten since morning. Even though he had eaten nothing all day, Kofi shared his last meal. The next day, he helped an old woman
Bless you,
who
my
had
son.
fallen by the river.
It is almost finished.
Even in this strange
We are
village,
proud of you.
Kofi remained the same man
Wow,
he had
look at
always
that.
been. High above, the king watched everything, and with each passing day, his smile
Homes and
grew
Wablan.
wider. Kofi was ordered to serve in the royal hall. Day after day, the
Look at his
nobles laughed
clothes.
at him.
He
To them,
smells like the
he was
forest.
nothing but a poor hunter. Some even threw food at him. Yet, Kofi never complained, for all he thought about was his daughter. One day, a young servant
must
girl
beware.
made a terrible mistake. Knowing he can be punished for it, Kofi stepped out to pay for her.
Please me forgive her.
Hidden from everyone, the king watched and he smiled. Every night, he prayed for only one thing, not riches, not power, but for only little Zuri to live. After many days, the first test came to an end, but the king's greatest test was yet to come. After many days, Kofi was summoned again, but this time, he was taken somewhere no ordinary man had ever entered. Before his eyes stood wealth greater than that of kings, enough to change generations. And a king appeared to him.
Take whatever your heart desires.
Then he left. For the first time, Kofi stood alone with unimaginable wealth. He thought of his daughter. He thought of his hunger. He thought of every insult he had suffered. But Kofi had never desired
daughter.
riches. He had only come
That
for
is
one
all I
thing.
ask for.
Unseen by Kofi, the king had watched everything, and for the first time in centuries, tears filled his eyes. The second trial had ended, yet one final test remained. A test so cruel that it would bring Kofi to
Prepare
the edge of
final
death itself.
trial.
3 days after the second trial, disaster struck.
It is
the serpent
gone!
golden heart, the greatest treasure of the kingdom, had disappeared. And to everyone's horror, the missing
Arrest
treasure
him!
was found inside Kofi's room. The same people who had once smiled at him
You deserve
turned
this!
against him,
No
calling him
mercy for
thief.
you!
Yet
He
Kofi
deserves
had
death!
said nothing. He neither cursed nor defended himself. The judgment was severe. By
He must
sunrise,
pay for what he's
Kofi will
done.
be executed.
There can be no mercy.
For the first time since his
Zuri,
wife died, Kofi wept like a child.
Forgive me.
But he did not
Please.
pray for his own life.
Give the
His
Moonleaf
final
to my
wish
daughter.
was only for his daughter.
Even if I die.
And as the sun rose, Kofi accepted death, unaware that the greatest truth of all was about to be revealed. Not only his sorrow
Zuri,
was that he will never see his
may
little
heaven
daughter
protect
again.
you.
As the execution was about to begin, the king stepped
Enough!
forward.
No
The king
wealth
was
could
filled
corrupt
with
you.
tears in
No
his eyes.
insult could change you. No fear could break your heart.
And before the eyes of everyone, the king did
Forgive
the
us.
unimaginable.
Great son of the earth.
One after the other, the people knelt, not before a king, but before a poor hunter whose heart had remained pure.
3 days later, Kofi was summoned again.
You have not changed.
At last, the king revealed the sacred
But my gift to
Moonleaf,
you
the only thing that could
does not
heal
end
little
here.
Zuri. Carrying the sacred Moonleaf, Kofi hurried back to Amani village, praying that he wasn't too late. Back home, little Zuri has grown weak. Many people believe he will not last the next day. Just
Zuri!
before hope disappeared,
Father is
his father
home!
has returned. He placed the Moonleaf on her forehead, and before his eyes, a miracle happened. She is healed. He embraced his daughter, and they lived happily. Kofi became the richest man the community has ever seen. He shared his riches with the needy, and the king begged for his forgiveness and shared for the king also. The community celebrated Kofi, even the king, and they all live happily.